Social Studies 9, what's going on? We're going to keep plugging away with Chapter 3 today. First off, a little bit of apology. I know I've been telling you, have your textbook in front of you. Didn't even clue in that you don't have your textbook. You gave them all back to school. But you do have the textbook. It is on the Google Classroom. I've made sure that all the chapters are there. If you look on the first day of Chapter 3, so April 20th, that's where you'll find the textbook for Chapter 3, okay? And you will need that today. So make sure you have pulled it up on your computer and make sure you have a look at that, because that's essentially what we're going to be doing today. A real quick little video today, and we're going to talk about some things. But again, need the textbook. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the charter and lawmaking. So we're going to look at some examples. So what you're going to find is you're going to find examples of citizens who've exercised their individual rights by challenging government legislation, right? Again, you as a citizen can challenge any law or challenge the government if you think they're violating your individual rights. So we're going to look at some examples here, okay? So the first one we're going to look at is something called breaking the communication barrier. That's on page 105, chapter 3. Please give that a read right now. Paused. Hope you read it. Okay, so again, you read the communication barrier on page 105. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the story is. I mean, essentially, some Canadian citizens that were deaf went to hospital to deliver babies. No one told them what's going on and just took their babies. I'm sure everyone ended up healthy, but you can imagine what a terrifying situation that would be in. So they challenged the British Columbia government to mandate that you need to have interpreters there. And that has continued on, right? If you don't speak English and you go to a hospital, they have to have somebody there to interpret for you. You'll see it now if you watch Trudeau and Kenny and Dr. Hinshaw, if they're online or if they're on TV and they're addressing the province or addressing the country, they have interpreters, sign interpreters off to the side, right? That is it's a right of Canadians to know what people are saying to them, right? It's not their fault that they can't hear, right? But it is our responsibility to make sure that they are taken care of and that they know what their rights are and they know what's going on, especially if you're in a hospital and there's a doctor, right? I mean, I couldn't imagine. I've got 2 kids of my own. I'm sure you've seen them run around the videos. Hello, Mr. Hagen. I'm recording a video right now. You can't be here.
Are you live?
I'm YouTubing this.
Oh,
this is my lesson. You're ruining my lesson.
It.
You're wrecking my lesson.
People.
So anyway, that is their right? So they get to have that communication, right? And again, I've had 2 children, and if someone just took them and didn't tell me what was going on, or I couldn't understand them, it'd be a terrifying situation, right? So go back now and read the next one, which is page 106, entitled Always Open. So please go and read that. Hope you've read that. Welcome back. Okay, so this one here is a talking about always open 24/7. Essentially what happened is in the under the Lord's Day Act, you couldn't be open on a Sunday. This is actually very recently. This is a federal law, but this same thing happened just recently in Nova Scotia. Up until recently, Nova Scotia couldn't be open on Sundays. When my wife went to school in Nova Scotia and university, there was nothing open on Sundays. It was not allowed except for pharmacies because they were essential service. Well, now pharmacies start selling everything, right? And how is that fair to any other business, right? But coming back to this 24/7 one, Sunday means something to us in our Catholic faith, but to a lot of people it doesn't, right? So how is that fair that some places are allowed to be open and some places aren't, right? Because you're Catholic doesn't mean I have to abide by your rules, right? So again, someone challenged the charter saying your religion can't mandate my individual rights to be open on Sunday and to be able to run my business Sunday and be able to shop on a Sunday, and they won that, and that's their right. Okay. Third one, restrictions on flying. Real quick here, in June 2007, Canada's government banned certain people from traveling for air security reasons. People were put on a no-fly list, and there's a couple of examples there, and you can read those yourself. Again, this is on page 107. But why do you think people disagree with the no-fly list? Do you agree with the no-fly list? If someone is deemed dangerous, should they be allowed to be on a plane? Right? At what point are we valuing public safety over individual rights? And the last one is banning junk foods. Again, that's on page 109. Give that a read. Should advertisers be able to make whatever they want, right? You've seen this a lot in recent years. You guys don't notice much, but I remember growing up, you used to see, and when Mr. Drevitt was growing up, say hi, Mr. Drevitt.
Hello.
We used to see cigarette ads all the time. You see them everywhere. You guys have probably never seen a cigarette ad in your life because they're not allowed, right? So should the government be able to mandate who can advertise and who can't, right? So on this one here, they talk about junk foods, right? People have attempted to persuade companies they shouldn't be able to advertise their product to young children, right? They're bad for kids. Like, now think about this. What possible programs arise from advertising to children? How effectively does the charter protect children? Should McDonald's be able to have, hey, look, here's a toy, right? Come eat my fries. Should they be allowed to do that, right? If we know it's not good for kids. Should the charter be protecting children from advertisers? Something to think about. That's it for today. Again, like I wish we were in class talking about this. This would take 2 classes talking about this, having some discussion about whether you think this is right or not. So really try and think about this yourself, right? What do you think people's individual rights should be trumped by the better good, right? Can the government say what I can and cannot do, right? Whether it be open on Sunday, banning advertisements, telling me I can or cannot fly, or mandating communication, okay? Have a great day, guys. We'll talk soon.